Hello, patrons. This month for Haunted Grounds, let's talk about a phantom bus. This urban legend is going to be a lot more recent than past ones we've talked about here. According to most accounts, this story takes place sometime in November of 1995. Of course, as always, it was a dark and stormy night. A young man was waiting to catch the midnight bus number 375. Back to his home in Fragrant Hills in the Haidian district of Beijing. This was the last bus of the night. The young man boarded the bus and took his seat next to an old woman. Not long after, the bus passed two men standing on the side of the road. Initially, the bus did not stop for the two men because they were not standing at a bus stop. However, upon remembering that it was the last bus of the night, the driver stopped and let the two men get on. When the two men got on the bus, the young man realized that there was not just two of them, but three. Two of them were dressed like they were from the Qing dynasty, dating from 1636 to 1912. They wore their hair in long braids, and their faces were described as, quote, wider than a normal person's, end quote. And the two of them were carrying the third man, who was described as having mangy long hair covering his face by his shoulders. The young man asked the conductor about the strange trio that had just walked onto the bus. The conductor replied by saying that they were probably just actors who didn't have time to change out of their costumes. That seems like a pretty good explanation, he thought. As the bus continued on, most of the passengers got off until the only remaining people on the bus were the young man, the old woman sitting next to him, the trio, the conductor, and the driver. The old woman started throwing a fit and screaming that the young man had stolen her wallet. The young man and the old woman began to yell at each other until the woman suggested that the two of them get off the bus and head to the nearest police station. Once they stepped off the bus, the young man became even angrier as he realized that they had just gotten off the last bus. And there was no police station in sight. The old woman, however, seemed calm and relieved. The wind coming in from the window raised their robes, and I saw that they didn't have feet, she explained. The men in the Qing dynasty robes had been ghosts. The morning after, bus number 375 was reported as missing. It took 3 days to locate the bus, which was found sunken into a reservoir miles away from its final destination of Fragrant Hills. Inside the bus, police found 3 bodies: the conductor, the driver, and a man with mangy long hair. According to some variations of the story, the bus's gas tank was filled with blood instead of gas. It seems that the old woman had recognized the ghosts and lured the young man off the bus to save him from the unfortunate fate that the other 3 men would meet. To make this whole thing even more weird, there was no way that the bus could have made it as far as it did with the amount of gas that was left in it. So people speculate that maybe they were using the blood to fuel this bus. Also, when they checked the CCTV footage around the reservoir that night, there was nothing out of the ordinary. No bus plummeting to the bottom of the reservoir, nothing. Lastly, the bodies that were found were far more decomposed than they should have been. Even in the middle of summer heat, there is no way that those bodies should have been decomposed as much as they were. In researching this, I found that there are ghost buses in a bunch of different countries. If you want to hear their backstories, let me know.